Welcome back. We're wrapping up the No Way BPA, or should I say the Alternative Way BPA, in order to hopefully get to a call to action here so that citizens know how to participate. I before I forget, there is a website,
That's right.
nowaybpa.com. Is that right?
That's
That's
right.
N-O.
NOWAYBPA.com. That's our main website, and that website will link you to Citizens Against the Towers. Yell Valley Coalition works out of that website. We have documents on the website you can read, maps, all kinds of information that you may need somebody's address, how to contact them. It's all there, and it has our monthly meeting schedule where we meet at, and every third Tuesday of the month we have a public meeting for people to come to, advisor and public board meetings, so they can participate, bring their problems, and tell us about where they live, how they're impacted, and get that information in so we can actually put that in the comments in BPA form. If they don't know how, they can just come to us in person. So we do that, and we have an agenda at those meetings that we create so people can know what we're doing for them as an umbrella group that kind of works all together. We have board members that are all the way from Castle Rock down to Camas. And so we're spread way out, and so we have meetings in different fire departments and so forth all over the place, and you can actually participate very easily in that at 6 o'clock on those days.
And that website, No Way BPA, sounds like, well, you just don't want anything to happen at all. It sounds kind of obstructionist, whatever. But that's not what you're about. You're really trying to stop the towers going through the populated areas, and you are providing an alternative, and you are saying we do want progress, and these are the two choices that we recommend, and please listen to us in order to make that happen. So you have a coalition of citizens that are impacted. One thing I'm curious about, since this impacts basically Clark County, and this is a huge impact on Clark County, where are the county commissioners on this? I would think that they would be championing the this cause in order to make sure that Clark County ends up being the quality of life is protected.
Well, you've actually seen Clark County and Cowles County commissioners both come together and speak up on behalf of their citizens, the same way that I've been speaking up on behalf of citizens. When I have people that live both in Cowles and Clark County, and the majority of miles of this whole proposal are right through my district. And so it's been a great concern to citizens in my district. But certainly the county commissioners have been involved as well.
So they're involved, just like citizens are involved. But I would think, are they really championing this? Are they really going to bat?
You know, I think Steve Stewart made a really great presentation at a couple of the public meetings, and he was really there for us as a commissioner. Did a great job, as Ed has done many times. The commissioners need to get involved in this. This is a big deal. It covers a lot of property and people, and it's right through the heart of the Vancouver.
Sure.
You'll notice that when BPA refers to this as near Vancouver and near Camas, that's not true. It's in Camas and it's in Vancouver, and it's those commissioners are going to have to deal with this one way or another. So we need to get that out to the public to make sure that they know and what to do and who to contact. And you can go to our website and get their names, their email addresses, contact information, phone numbers, and put that information out there and tell them what you think about the project. Send that to Bonneville Power and let them know what your comments are. If you don't know how to send that to Bonneville Power, you send it to us and we'll send it to Bonneville Power for you. But those need to be in the draft EIS, which is going to come out here in December. We're trying to delay that till January because we don't want this to be dumped on everybody before Christmas and not give them time to react, because they only have a 45-day comment period after the draft is released, which may have a preferred route in it. And if that preferred route happens to be a really bad idea, there will be a lot of people react to it. If it happens to be a really good choice, like the gray alternative or unpopulated, that's basically what we're about, is unpopulated. It's not so much location, unpopulated. That's why the name of our corporation is No Lines in Populated Areas.
Okay.
That's the umbrella.
That's a nonprofit that you
It's a
formed.
nonprofit that we put together, but all of the groups reside under that umbrella. So we kind of work with everybody under that. So, for example, if somebody made a donation to us, it's totally tax deductible, and you know, and so forth. But we can do that. and get the people to get funnel the information through the BPA if they don't know how to get that at the meetings. Write it down. We'll scan the note and we'll send it to them as a picture. One way or another, we get that information to BPA.
So the legislators, the representatives, they are involved in this. This is not really a question of having the citizens try to get the attention of legislators. You guys are already involved.
This is my 20th face-to-face meeting that I've had, or discussion that I've had in less than a 2-year period. So I've been very involved. I've written a number of letters to BPA. I've corresponded with a number of constituents through email on top of those 20 face-to-face meetings. So I feel like I've been very involved in something that, you know, it's coming from a federal agency. So for me to have this kind of involvement in something like that, I think I've done a pretty good job on behalf of folks, and I feel like the county commissioners have stepped up and tried to do what they can, you know, trying to persuade a federal agency. So, you know, we'll keep, you know, making those kind of efforts to the best of our ability. Very pleased that we now have former state representative Jamie Herrera, now Herrera Butler, as our congresswoman, and trying to deal with the federal agency from the federal level. And
So
I
she's
think
been
that's,
helpful in this. I
she has
understand
definitely
that she
been
wrote a
helpful.
letter.
Terry
Yes,
can talk
absolutely.
about that a little bit more.
And have they responded to that letter?
Yes, we had. They have responded to the letter. It was in the Columbian a few days ago, and the response was kind of a generic. But they in their response, they agreed that there should be an eastern route considered, and they are going to get out there in the field. And I've been told that they are now looking at it. So
Great, great. So call to action, you have citizens if they're interested, they can participate with the coalition. They know how to do that now. The legislators are already involved. It sounds like you put a lot of time into this already. And another call to action is for the BPA to answer these questions.
oh, absolutely, yeah.
I mean, it would not just give excuses or something. I don't want to make them sound bad, but objective answers to really address the Pearl route, to really address or respond to the gray line alternative. We challenge them to respond to that.
Absolutely.
And not just with some generic thing, but really.
You got to have a real response to the facts. If you say
Sure.
you can't build something, tell us why you can't build it.
Sure.
You know, we need to know the details. Well, why would that? It's not possible here, but it is here.
Right.
That's very confusing for everybody involved in this project, and there are a lot of people that see this. The data that we put out, and we've made presentations to Clark Pudd about how the power is not for here and so forth. We've covered that, and yet BPA still insists that the power is for here. We need to get some clarification on what this is for, why we need it, and why do we need to burden the people here for power needed everywhere else. That's a big issue, and why can't we build it without impacting so many people?
Isn't there a elected representative that has to do with Bonneville Power? Isn't, you know what I'm talking about?
They're a federal agency.
Well,
So we have no representation there?
we have agencies that deal with the siting of towers in the state of Washington. FSEC, the evaluation facility for the siting of these towers and so forth, deals with that, and we've had contact with that agency, and they are helping mitigate this through the people and with Bonneville.
You said FSEC. What's that? Spell that out. What is that?
That's the evaluation facility siting. Oh, wow, what's that?
I think it's Energy Facilities Siting Evaluation something committee,
I've got it
commission
written
or
down.
something.
Okay,
we-
we'll
But
sorry, if there'd be a link or
EFSEC,
something
so.
that we can find, we'll put that on our.
It
on
is.
our
But
website
they're
for this.
basically charged with the governor's office with where will these towers go and how will this affect people. And they will sign off on this project when it's right.
Mhm.
That doesn't mean that they can control everything BPA does, but it does mean that the siting is controlled and through that agency, and the governor's going to see it. And by the way, the governor is going to know this draft, preliminary draft preferred route before the other people do, because they, like Clark Pudd, are agencies that get that information first. So that's something that does control what happens in the state of Washington.
Has our governor taken any position on it? Has the governor been helpful to the citizens on this issue?
We would love to see a letter from the governor saying that supports an unpopulated route. It would be nice to see that. Haven't seen those words exactly. It would be something that we would really appreciate her just sending that to BPA as a comment, similar to what the Congresswoman has done, and that would add a lot of pressure to BPA to do the thing for the people, the people's interest.
So maybe that's one of our calls to action then, is to contact the governor.
Sure. And also we have a governor race coming up here in 2012. We already have candidates that have signed up here that are saying, hey, elect me for governor, and this be an issue that's important to our area, governor being statewide, but knowing that the authority of the governor carries some weight. No, the governor doesn't have authority over the BPA, any federal agency, but just like Jamie Herrera's letter had an impact, caused them to listen, it's smart for those guys to respond to the representatives of the people.
Right. That matters. That's something that's important.
Rob McKenna being one of the candidates, the obvious candidate that's declared candidacy for the governor, we ought to ask him, will you support the citizens on this issue?
Exactly. We, as that kind of a group, and the groups we're in, we're limited on how much contact we can have when people are running for public office. Once they're elected, we can have all the contact in the world. But as they're running, we're kind of limited. But all of the people that are involved can contact them at any time. And that's a very important thing to do, to get the people that are running for office and see where they stand on the issue. That's how you look at their voting record. That's how you elect officials and find out what they are about before you vote them into office. Always a good plan.
Sure. So we have a number of city council positions that are up for election now, and I assume this is much bigger than cities, but there are cities on these maps, the routes on these maps that do impact these cities. So even those candidates, it'd be interesting to know where these candidates stand.
Oh, absolutely.
One thing I'd like to do before we conclude today is,
like 1 minute, Ed.
yeah, I want to, as much time as I and other elected officials have put into this, I think it's really important that we recognize the work that the private citizens have done. You know, Terry and people like Ernest Orenson and Cheryl Brantley have really dived in to this issue, and they've done a lot of research, and a lot of the information I'm getting is from research that they're actually doing. And so we really need to commend these folks for diving into this and digging in and getting to the bottom of the issue, and bringing that out to the public, and for their diligence in doing so, and for proposing a legitimate alternative.
Yes.
Our message has always been the same. We've never changed our message, and it's the name of our corporation, No Lines in Populated Areas, and that's what we'll stay with. That's what it's always going to be.
And Ed, I want to thank you very much for all the time you've placed on this and the effort you've put in. Thank you for doing your job as best you can. And Terry, thank you. You're volunteering your time to do this, and you have put in countless hours in order to help make our county a better place, and certainly don't let it be degraded. Thank you very much, and for all the citizens that you represent.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Okay, we'll wrap it up with that.
Okay.